Hello and welcome to today's episode of Bella Riosa Cooking with Injuries. I'm Bella Riosa and this channel is all about me sharing some tips and tricks that I have learned from 10 plus years of having some chronic injuries as well as mild injuries. I've injured myself a lot. So if that is something that you're interested in, hit the subscribe button below and stick around and we'll see where this journey takes us. Today's episode, we're going to be looking at some instant noodles and adding them with frozen vegetables. So where this came in handy for myself this week, I went out for a walk. I'm back to being able to walk up to 3 kilometers. That is my max. And I was like, yes, okay, cool. Let's go out for a short walk. As I'm doing the loop, all of a sudden the road to get back, roadworks are going on. It was closed. So my short little walk turned into a 4K walk. So anyone with injuries would know that the following day, my body was just like, we're not happy right now. So I actually had to look for something that was quite easy to make for lunch. And that's where I use instant noodles. But we also know we've got to really try and get to that 5 serves of veggies a day, which I don't know about you, but quick, easy meals tend not to have that much vegetables in it. So that's where we're adding, I'm adding about 1.5 cups of frozen vegetables to it, but you obviously do according to what works for you. And the instant noodles I'm using is Megarang. What I did here is I looked at the flavour sachet that's in the Megarang because I don't know about you, but yummy. So it's like, okay, what can I cook through my frozen vegetables that's going to complement the flavour in the instant noodles? And that's where today's recipe comes from. So let's get into it. Okay, so I thought the camera angle onto the stovetop would be easier. Here, as you can see, it's about 1.5 cups of frozen vegetables. I haven't put the stove on yet because I'm just going to put it all in the pan. And I've got approximately 1 teaspoon of garlic granules. I am a huge fan of garlic, so that might be a bit too much for you guys. The garlic granules is it's in the spice aisle, so just along with your, dried chilies or with your parsley, it's in that section. 1 teaspoon of dried granules is equal to 1 clove of garlic. So if you'd prefer to use fresh garlic, that's how much I've got in there. The oil that I'm using is coconut oil. So that is, I find 1 teaspoon of coconut oil to be enough. But that kind of just complements the flavors of the Megarang, which is using things like sesame seed oil. And the other ingredient that I'm adding is sweet soy sauce, that focuses, also known as Kepa Manis. This is an Indonesian soy sauce. Now the brand obviously doesn't matter. This was just what was available at my local supermarket. So apparently, according to other YouTubes that I've watched, sweet soy sauce is equivalent to normal soy sauce and brown sugar added to it if you can't find it yourself locally, but it does taste different, this one, to, having your own normal soy sauce where you've added some brown sugar to it. But this is what I've put in the pot. Normally I would go straight from all the packet straight in because we don't like dishes. As you know, when you're injured, you've got to think about the process from end to end of how many dishes it's going to use, how much cleaning up have we got, are the products actually in the house, or do I have to go purchase it all? As you can see, a lot of these ones you can have in your house. And I'm going to turn this on to a medium heat, whatever you like to fry. The coconut oil is slowly going to melt in and we'll just mix that off. And as it's melting, we can just mix all those flavours evenly through the vegetables. So we'll just give it a couple of minutes to do that. So I've pushed the coconut oil to the base just so that it melts quickly. If it's a warmer day, it already might come out melted. But it's not quite a warm day here in flooding Victoria. I am in Victoria at the moment, where we are currently under, where I'm located, we don't have flood warnings, but the whole state is basically on flood notice. So thinking about a lot of people who are caught up in the floods. Okay, so it's been about a minute, and as you can see, just by stirring it, all the flavours have gone right through. The oil has melted, and from here I find that it takes maybe up to 10 minutes to fry it off, but that's just going to be a nice easy veg mix to add to my instant noodles. So my vegetables have been frying away for a few minutes. You can see how they're going. Because they're about halfway done, I'm going to start on the noodles. I've just boiled the kettle. So we'll open up the packet of noodles. And all I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cook them in a bowl. So pouring the freshly boiled kettle over the noodles, getting another plate to go over the top. I'm going to put the timer on for 3 minutes. Not going to touch this, do anything for 3 minutes. Now that the timer is on for 3 minutes, I'm going to keep checking on the vegetables, see how they're going, because we want them ready approximately the same time. So I'm just going to start getting my flavour packets from the Mee Goreng noodles ready. I am not a chili person, so I'm going to cut off the chili sauce. But if you are a chili person, you may want to add a little bit of chili flakes to the pan of vegetables. Totally up to you, because everyone's chili tolerance is different. Mine's low. So there is a big debate on if you add the seasoning to the noodles or the noodles to the seasoning. In this case, we're going to be adding the seasoning to the noodles because we're wanting to use the same bowl that they're cooking in, and it's just about the dishes. So unfortunately, there's a timer. It's been 3 minutes. So we'll take this off. Should have already had the fork in my hand. Grab a fork, and we're just going to break up the noodles. As they're coming apart, they are cooked. So from here, it's about draining off the noodles. If you're coordinated, you can use your fork, tip the bowl to drain off the water. Otherwise, you could get like a silver mesh colander and tip the noodles into there. When I was really bad with my injuries, that is what I used to do. But my silver mesh colander is currently hiding in a location that I don't know where it can be found. It was put away in a very safe spot. So we've got the noodles. Let's open the seasoning mix packets. Okay, so here we have our normal Mee Goreng noodles out of the packet that we're going to level up with our flavoured frozen vegetables. And look at that, doesn't that look beautifully cooked? So put that on top. And look at that, doesn't that look absolutely delicious? Let's get some of the veggies. So good. The flavouring on that complements the noodles perfectly. If you end up cooking this, I really hope you enjoy, or I hope that's given you some ideas of how you can adjust some really simple things like the instant noodles and level it up. And I hope you have a lovely day.